Imagine waking up one morning, but something feels completely different. No buildings, no roads, no phones, no electricity. You open your eyes, and the first thing you see is a sky full of stars that you have never seen before. You are not in 2026. You are living 10,000 years ago, a time when humans were just beginning to leave behind the life of hunters and gatherers. So, what would your life actually look like? Would you survive? Or would you struggle to make it through just one day? The first thing you would notice is the silence. The world would be almost completely natural. No engines, no machines, no artificial lights covering the night sky. Most of the earth would be covered by forests, grasslands, and wild landscapes. The human population was tiny compared to today. Instead of billions of people, there were only a few million humans spread across the planet. Your nearest neighbor might be miles away. But your day would start very differently. You wouldn't wake up because of an alarm. You would wake up because your body naturally follows the sunlight. Your home would probably not be a modern house. Depending on where you lived, it could be a simple shelter made from wood, animal skins, and plants. And your first job of the day? Survival. You would need to find food. There would be no supermarket, no refrigerator, no delivery apps. Every meal would depend on your own skills. You might collect berries, roots, nuts, and plants, or you might join a hunting group trying to find animals for meat. But hunting was dangerous. A small mistake could mean injury. And an injury without modern medicine could become a serious problem. Your clothes would also surprise you. There would be no factories creating thousands of outfits. People used what nature provided. Animal skins, plant fibers, and simple materials were turned into clothing. Your shoes would not be comfortable sneakers. They would be handmade protection against rough ground, cold weather, and sharp objects. But life 10,000 years ago wasn't only difficult. Humans had something we often lack today: a deep connection with nature. People understood the seasons. They knew animal behavior. They could read signs from the environment: a change in wind, a certain bird sound, the movement of animals. Small details that modern humans usually ignore. Your social life would also be completely different. Humans survived because they worked together. Families and groups depended on each other. Sharing food and helping others wasn't just kindness. It was necessary for survival. A person alone would have had a much harder time. But the biggest change would be your relationship with time. Today, humans are always rushing. Deadlines, notifications, schedules. 10,000 years ago, life moved according to nature: the sunrise, the seasons, the availability of food. A single day could feel much longer because every moment mattered. However, you would also face dangers we rarely think about. There were no hospitals, no antibiotics, no modern doctors. Even common illnesses could be dangerous. And the environment itself was unpredictable. Harsh winters, wild animals, and food shortages were real threats. But there was one incredible thing about being born 10,000 years ago. You would be living during one of the biggest turning points in human history. Humans were beginning to experiment with farming. Instead of constantly moving to find food, some groups started growing their own crops. This small change would eventually create villages, then cities, then civilizations. So if you were born 10,000 years ago, your life would be harder. You would have fewer comforts. You would face more risks. But you would also experience a world that humans have almost forgotten. A world where every sunrise mattered, where survival was an achievement, and where every human action was connected to the planet around them. Because 10,000 years ago, humans weren't just living on Earth. They were learning how to become the species that would eventually change it forever.